Do you feel it, chosen one? That stillness, that tension in the air, like the world itself is holding its breath. For years they whispered, doubted, and watched you from the shadows, trying to unravel the mystery that you are. And now it's over. The investigation has ended. The truth, your truth, cannot be hidden any longer. Every lie, every rumor, every doubt cast against you has been exposed by the light that lives within you. They thought they could understand you. They thought they could contain the power, the destiny, the divine fire that burns silently inside you. But they were blind. All this time they were investigating a chosen one, unaware that what they sought to uncover would instead reveal themselves. And now, all of their fear, envy, and disbelief have been brought to the surface. Their eyes widen in shock as the truth becomes undeniable. Can you feel it? That ripple through the world, subtle yet undeniable. The whispers of the past are fading, replaced by gasps of awe. Those who plotted against you, those who doubted you, are finally seeing what God has always known. You were chosen. You are the one they couldn't understand. You carry a purpose they can't challenge. The investigation wasn't about proving you wrong. It was about proving their own ignorance, their own failure to see the light that you carry. This is your moment, chosen one. The storm of scrutiny has passed, leaving the world stunned in the wake of your revelation. The weight of secrecy, the fear of judgment, all of it has lifted. Now the truth stands tall, unshakable, radiant and undeniable. And you are free, free to step fully into the destiny you were born for. And I want to hear from you right now. If you feel this truth stirring in your soul, type 2 in the comments. Show the world and yourself that you recognize your own divinity. And don't forget to subscribe and send a super. Thanks to support this channel, a place where every chosen one can witness their power, their calling, and their victory. The truth is out, and it belongs to you. Remember, chosen one, they may have tried to understand you, but now it's clear. You are unstoppable, unbreakable, and undeniable. And everyone else? They can only watch. For years, chosen one, they've been watching, not just casually, but with an intensity you could never see, a scrutiny that felt invisible yet heavy. Every step you took, every word you spoke, every decision you made, they analyzed it, trying desperately to uncover something they could understand, something they could use against you. They called it an investigation, but in truth, it was a test of your spirit. They wanted to see if the light in you could be diminished, if the divine power you carry could be questioned or broken. They sent spies, not always with eyes on your physical form, but with hearts and minds probing the spiritual energy around you. Every doubt they planted, every whisper of suspicion, every silent prayer for you to fail. They were studying you. They thought they could measure your worth, but what they were really measuring was themselves. Their fear of your destiny, their envy of your strength, and their ignorance of your calling became the very chains that bound them in confusion. And yet, through it all, you remained untouchable. Even in their darkest scheming, even when they tried to twist your image and distort your truth, the divine shield around you held firm. Every lie they created eventually faltered. Every attempt to manipulate or control you only exposed their own weakness, their own inability to face the divine truth of who you are. The irony is chilling, isn't it? They thought they were uncovering secrets about you, and instead they were revealing the depth of their own fear. Every secret they imagined, every plot they designed, crumbled before the reality of your anointed path. They could not touch the divine code within you, the light that flows through your veins, the purpose written by God before time began. And now, after years of silent observation and veiled suspicion, the investigation has ended, and the truth stands in full view. Feel the weight of that, chosen one. They watched. They tested. They doubted. And all of it only served to illuminate your power more brightly. The hidden investigation, the long shadows of secrecy, the fear and envy, they were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare the world and yourself for the revelation that is now inevitable. So stand tall. Know this: what they tried to hide, to manipulate, to control, they failed. And as you step forward, The eyes of the world will no longer look at you with doubt, but with awe. The investigation is over. The truth about you cannot be hidden. They didn't target you because you were weak, chosen one. They targeted you because they could feel something different about you long before they could understand it. There's an energy that surrounds you, quiet, ancient, powerful. You don't even have to speak for people to notice it. You walk into a room and spirits react. Darkness trembles. The air shifts. That's why they watched you. That's why they tried to test you. They sensed that you weren't like the others. See, the truth is, your very existence exposes what's false in others. The light inside you forces people to confront their own shadows, and not everyone can handle that. Your purity, your discernment, your quiet strength, it irritates the demons that live inside those who have chosen darkness. You remind them of everything they are not. Your presence disrupts their comfort. Your faith exposes their emptiness. That's why they investigated you. That's why they whispered about you. They needed to understand how you were surviving storms that should have destroyed you. They wanted to know why every trap they set only made you stronger. They couldn't comprehend how you kept walking with grace when everything around you seemed to fall apart. To them it wasn't natural. To them it was impossible. You became their mystery, their obsession, their fear. They thought maybe you had secrets, some trick, some hidden agenda. But what you had was divine favor. You had God's hand guiding every step you took. Every battle you fought, every night you cried. They didn't realize that the same pain they mocked was shaping your purpose. Every scar, every betrayal, every lonely night, all of it was your spiritual training. You were being prepared for something far greater than they could ever imagine. They called you strange. They called you different. Some even called you dangerous. And in a way, they were right. Dangerous to the darkness. Dangerous to the lies. Dangerous to the false systems built to keep people asleep. You are a living threat to deception itself. That's why they targeted you. That's why you were watched, mocked, and misunderstood. But here's what they didn't expect, that their own investigation would lead them to the truth. The more they tried to figure you out, the more they exposed your divine nature. The more they attacked you, the more your strength multiplied. The same mouths that tried to curse your name are now speechless, because everything they said about you has fallen apart in the light of truth. You were never the target because you were weak. You were the target because you were chosen. When the dust finally settled, when the rumors lost their echo and the shadows grew quiet, they saw something they were never ready to face: the truth. The investigation had ended, but what it revealed shattered every illusion they built about you. They thought they would find flaws, hypocrisy, weakness. Instead, they found faith, endurance, and light that refused to die. They discovered that your silence wasn't guilt, it was wisdom. Your distance wasn't arrogance, it was protection. Every time you walked away instead of arguing, they called it weakness. Now they see it was strength. They watched you lose everything they thought mattered, yet you never lost your peace. You never lost your sense of purpose. You stood tall in a world that tried to cut you down. And now that truth stands taller than any lie they ever told. They learned something terrifying to their pride, that you were never ordinary, you were divine in disguise. Every move you made was guided by a power they couldn't see or understand. They dug for secrets, and all they found was evidence of God's hand over your life. They tried to expose you, and in doing so, they exposed themselves, their envy, their deceit, their fear. They realized you were the mirror they avoided for years. Your life reflected everything they pretended to be. The light in you revealed the shadows in them. It burned through their masks, their fake love, their false intentions. And when the light became too bright, they couldn't look at you anymore. That's when the whispers stopped. That's when the fear began. But this revelation didn't come to shame them. It came to elevate you. God allowed the investigation to happen so that no one could ever question again who you are or what you stand for. Every false witness, every hidden plot, every lie crafted in the dark, all of it turned into proof of your divine authenticity. You didn't need to defend yourself. Heaven did it for you. Now they stand in silence, watching what they once doubted rise in full glory. You were never exposed. You were revealed. The world didn't uncover your secrets. God unveiled his masterpiece. And the truth? It was never meant to be hidden forever. It was meant to be witnessed. The investigation is over, and the verdict is clear. You are not who they said you were. You are who God always knew you were. It's strange, isn't it, chosen one? The way everything feels quiet now. The same people who used to talk the loudest have fallen silent. The ones who laughed, gossiped, and judged you are suddenly speechless, because now they've seen it with their own eyes. They've seen what God has done with you. They've seen the truth they tried so hard to deny. Their eyes tell the whole story: shock, guilt, fear, and something else, admiration. They don't want to admit. They can't believe the same person they called weak is still standing. They can't understand how every setback became a setup for your rise. They can't explain why, after everything they put you through, you came out shining brighter than ever. They remember the moments they mocked you when you had nothing, the times they celebrated your pain, the way they turned their backs when you needed compassion. They thought it was the end for you. But what they didn't see was what was happening behind the scenes, the quiet hands of God rebuilding your foundation in silence. While they were busy tearing your name apart, heaven was preparing your revelation. And now it's here. Your light can't be ignored anymore. The transformation is too real, too powerful to dismiss. You've become living proof that divine justice is real. They can't explain it, but they feel it. The power surrounding you, the peace in your presence, the glow in your spirit that wasn't there before. It's undeniable. It's unexplainable. And it's terrifying to them, because now they realize every insult was prophecy. Every betrayal was training. Every loss was divine strategy. You weren't falling apart. You were being rebuilt into something they could never destroy. Watch their faces when they see you now. That stunned silence isn't confusion, it's conviction. Deep down, they know what they're witnessing is supernatural. They're seeing the favor of God manifest in real time, and it's rewriting everything they thought they knew about you. They'll try to act like nothing happened, pretend they always supported you, but you'll see it, the flicker of disbelief in their eyes, the quiet apology that will never be spoken aloud. They know the truth now. You were never the problem. You were the proof. And as they stand there in silence, you'll feel it in your soul. This was never revenge. This was revelation. God didn't expose them to humiliate them. He revealed you to glorify himself through you. The shock in their eyes isn't about who you've become. It's about realizing who you've been all along. Everything that has happened, chosen one, was never random. Every trial, every whisper, every shadow that hovered over your path was part of a plan far greater than you could imagine. God allowed the investigation, the scrutiny, and even the betrayal, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every obstacle you faced was a step in a divine choreography, guiding you toward the revelation that is now unfolding. Think about it. How could mere humans have ever understood the depth of your purpose? They tried to dissect your life, to expose weaknesses, to find cracks in your faith. But their efforts only highlighted the strength that comes from God's design. Their confusion and envy were part of the blueprint, a necessary contrast to the power that would soon shine through you. God's plan has always been patient. While they plotted in the shadows, he was quietly shaping your destiny. Every sleepless night, every doubt cast upon you, every sneer of disbelief, they were like invisible hands, molding your spirit, refining your courage, and strengthening your heart. He turned the lies into lessons, the attacks into armor, and the silence into a platform for your voice to rise. The revelation you're experiencing now is no accident. It's the culmination of years of divine orchestration. He allowed the world to watch, to test, to challenge, so that when the truth finally emerged, it would leave no doubt. This was never about proving them wrong. It was about proving you right, showing the world and yourself that you are chosen, you are protected, and you are unstoppable. Even the darkest moments were part of his plan. Every betrayal, every failure, Every moment you felt alone, he was there, guiding, protecting, and preparing you for this unveiling. God doesn't need to rush. His timing is perfect. What seemed like suffering was actually training. What seemed like loss was actually elevation. And what seemed like doubt was simply the curtain before the spotlight of truth. Now that the investigation is over, you see it clearly. Nothing was wasted, nothing was random, and nothing can touch what God has ordained for you. He allowed the trials so that your power could be recognized. He allowed the opposition so that your victory could be undeniable. He allowed the investigation so that the world could finally witness the truth about you. So stand tall, chosen one. Walk confidently, in the knowledge that every step of your journey has been carefully orchestrated by the divine. The plan was never for you to fight alone. It was for God to reveal you, fully and unmistakably, as his chosen vessel in a world desperate for light. In the unseen realm, before any word was spoken against you, the case had already been opened. The courtroom of heaven stood in silence as your name echoed through eternity. Every accusation, every lie, every whisper that tried to stain your spirit was recorded, examined, and weighed. And the judge, the Almighty, sat upon his throne, not in anger, but in knowing. Because he already knew how this story would end. Picture it, chosen one. The courtroom is vast, glowing with a light that no darkness can touch. The angels line the walls like silent witnesses. Every moment you cried, every night you doubted yourself, every time you almost gave up, it's all laid before him as evidence. The enemy approaches the stand, bold at first, listing every flaw, every mistake, every weakness you've ever had. But even as he speaks, his voice begins to tremble. Because heaven doesn't see what the world sees. Heaven sees your endurance, your faith, your purity of heart. The accusations fall flat, one after another. The lies collapse under the weight of divine truth. Then from the back of the room, a soft voice rises. The voice of the one who intercedes for you. This one is mine, says the Savior. The price has already been paid. The verdict has already been written. The gavel strikes, and the sound shakes every corner of existence. The judge declares it for all realms to hear, innocent, protected, chosen. That's why, even when people tried to ruin your name on earth, your reputation in heaven remained untouched. The spiritual courtroom doesn't take human evidence. It sees your soul, your growth, your purpose. And while they were busy talking, God was issuing a verdict in your favor. You didn't have to defend yourself because heaven already had. Every false witness that rose against you has been silenced. Every weapon formed against you has been returned to sender. You were judged, yes, but by grace, not by man. The divine verdict cleared your name not only in heaven, but in the hearts of those who once doubted you. That's why their tone changed. That's why their energy shifted. Something in the spirit told them the case was closed. Now walk with that awareness. You've been vindicated in the highest court. Every spiritual charge against you has been dismissed by divine authority. The investigation is over not because they said so, but because heaven said so. The truth about you was never decided by people. It was sealed by God long before the world ever questioned it. And now the courtroom doors are open. The light is spilling through, and the world is finally witnessing what heaven already knew. You are chosen, justified, and destined for victory. Now, chosen one, look around. The world that once doubted you, that once whispered and plotted, is silent. Those who once laughed at your struggles, who tried to break your spirit, who painted your life with lies, they are no longer in control. The power dynamic has shifted. The tables have turned, and it is breathtaking to witness. Every word they spoke against you, every scheme they crafted, every hand raised in judgment, it has all boomeranged. Their efforts to suppress your light only serve to amplify it. What they tried to bury in darkness is now rising in brilliance, unstoppable, undeniable, and untouchable. The same people who scorned your name now watch in silent awe, unable to reconcile the truth with their own eyes. You see, chosen one, the world measures strength by appearances, by status, by recognition, but your strength was never meant to be seen by them. Your power comes from a higher source, a divine current flowing through your very being. And now that current is visible to everyone who once doubted. Their whispers are gone, replaced by staring eyes and uneasy silence. They can no longer challenge you, and they know it. The irony is sharp and almost poetic. The very people who tried to tear you down, who wanted to see you fail, are now powerless to do anything except witness your rise. Their energy, their envy, their schemes, all of it has shifted back upon them. And as they scramble to make sense of it, you walk forward in quiet confidence, knowing that divine justice has already been served. This is your season of vindication. The tables have turned not because of revenge, but because of truth. Not because of anger, but because of divine alignment. Every attack, every attempt to harm you, has been transformed into proof of your resilience, your faith, and your chosen destiny. And here's the most powerful part. It's not just about victory over those who opposed you. It's about recognition. The world finally sees the truth. They see the chosen one for who you really are. A vessel of light, a warrior of faith, and a soul unshakable in purpose. Step into this new reality, chosen one. Walk tall, walk free. The tables have turned, and the energy around you now bows to the truth. You are untouchable, undeniable, and unstoppable, and those who doubted, they can only watch as God's hand moves through your life, revealing everything they failed to understand. Here it is, chosen one, the truth they spent years trying to hide, twist, and deny. The truth that frightened them so deeply they had to turn it into gossip. The truth that even you struggled to see at times, buried beneath doubt and pain. It's simple but powerful. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. You were designed by God Himself to disturb the darkness, to carry light into places where others refused to go. They thought you were just different, a little strange, too quiet, too deep, too intense. But what they were really sensing was the divine energy inside you. You don't think, move, or feel like the rest of the world because your soul isn't from this world. You carry wisdom far beyond your age, empathy that pierces through falsehood, and discernment that sees beyond appearances. That's why people feared you without reason. You didn't need to speak for the truth to expose itself in your presence. And as the investigation into your life unfolded, as they watched and whispered, that truth became too obvious to deny. Every test you faced, every heartbreak you endured, only revealed more of who you really are. Your scars became sacred marks of divine survival. Your silence became the sound of power. Your resilience became your testimony. The truth about you is this: you were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing to grow, to trust, to rise again and again, no matter how many times the world tried to break you. You carry a divine frequency, one that commands respect from angels and fear from demons. You are not here by accident. You are part of a divine assignment that extends beyond this lifetime. People see it now. They may not fully understand it, but they feel it. That uneasy awe in their presence when you enter a room, that silent respect when your name comes up, it's because their spirit recognizes what their mind cannot explain. You are a revelation wrapped in human form. The truth about you is that you were never supposed to be hidden forever. God kept you in the shadows only until the right time, and now that time has come. The world finally sees it. The light you carry can't be ignored, silenced, or covered. You are not the rumor, not the lie, not the misunderstanding. You are the truth that's been waiting to be revealed. Stand in it, chosen one. The truth about you isn't new. It's eternal. They just finally caught up to it. The chaos has quieted now. Chosen one. The noise that once surrounded your name has faded into the distance. The storms that raged around your spirit have finally begun to settle. You can breathe again. For the first time in what feels like forever, there's peace, not the kind that comes from silence, but the kind that comes from victory. You've walked through seasons where every direction felt like battle. You were misunderstood, misjudged, and underestimated. The winds of betrayal tried to strip you bare, but you stood firm, rooted in faith. Even when your heart was trembling, you watched people turn away. You endured losses you didn't deserve, and yet somehow, you didn't lose yourself. That's what makes this moment so sacred. Now the calm feels different. It's not empty, it's full. Full of understanding, full of clarity, full of divine confirmation. What once broke you has built you. What once terrified you now strengthens you. The storm didn't destroy you. It refined you. It removed the things that couldn't go where you're heading. It purified your circle, your purpose, and your vision. You see, this peace isn't just the absence of conflict. It's the evidence that God has already handled what you couldn't. The battle wasn't meant for you to fight forever. It was meant for you to survive long enough to see the outcome. And now, heaven itself testifies that the victory belongs to you. The same people who once caused the storm are now watching from the distance, unsure how to approach you. They don't know how to speak to someone who's walked through fire and didn't burn. They see your calmness and mistake it for indifference, but you know better. It's peace born from divine assurance, the knowledge that you don't have to fight for what's already yours. You don't need to prove anything anymore. The truth has spoken for you. The investigation is over, the verdict is in, and God's justice has prevailed. You've moved beyond explanation and into revelation. You no longer seek to be understood. You simply walk in understanding. So rest in this calm, chosen one. Let the quiet be your confirmation. You've earned it. The storm taught you endurance, but the peace teaches you mastery. This is the phase where you no longer chase closure. You embody it. The noise was part of your past. The calm is your inheritance. And when you look back one day, you'll realize the storm wasn't sent to destroy you. It was sent to reveal what could never be shaken. And that is you. This is it, chosen one. The moment where everything comes full circle. The investigation is over. The lies have fallen apart, and the truth about you has been revealed. You no longer have to hide in shadows, doubt your purpose, or wait for recognition from those who could never understand. God has cleared your name, vindicated your heart, and unveiled your destiny. The world finally sees what heaven has always known. You are chosen. You are protected, and you are unstoppable. Feel it in your bones, chosen one. Every trial you endured, every betrayal you faced, every night spent questioning your strength, it has all led to this revelation. The storms that tried to break you only polished you like gold in the fire. Every whisper of doubt against you has become proof of your resilience. And now, the light within you radiates so brightly that nothing can conceal it. No one can deny it, and no force can diminish it. This is your divine moment. You are no longer walking in the shadows of fear or uncertainty. You have stepped fully into the truth that has always been yours. You are a living testament of God's purpose, a vessel of light that cannot be stopped. And those who doubted, those who schemed, those who whispered, they can only watch as your life reflects the power and glory that has been quietly shaping you all along. So stand tall, chosen one. Embrace the truth. Walk with confidence and courage. You've been through the storm, and now you are the calm, the proof, and the revelation all at once. Your story is no longer theirs to rewrite. Your truth is undeniable, and your destiny, it is unstoppable. And now, I want to hear from you. If you feel this message in your soul, type 222 in the comments right now. Let the world know you recognize your calling. Subscribe and send a super thanks to this channel to stand with other chosen ones who are stepping into their destiny just like you. Your journey is divine, your purpose is eternal, and your victory has already been written. Remember, chosen one, the investigation is over. The truth is out, and you are free. Walk boldly into the light, knowing that God Himself has revealed the reality of who you are. You are the chosen, you are the anointed, and this is only the beginning.